Hello there, Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is episode 3 of my Let's Go Nuts Stamp Set of the Month series, and this episode is going to be super fun because I am making a birthday card. Now, I know a lot of you are just waiting for me to do Christmas. I promise you it's coming, and that will be in episode 4, so make sure you tune in next week for that episode. Also, I want to announce the winner of last week's card giveaway. So those of you who commented on last week's video, episode 2, were entered to win the card that I made. So I randomly selected, and the winner will appear across the screen right now. Congratulations. I thank each and every one of you for watching, for leaving me comments, and for liking. It means so much to me to have you enjoy the things that I make and that I get to share them with you as part of my job. It's amazing. I thank you and I appreciate you so much. So if you would like to win the card that I am making today, just leave a comment below and the winner will be announced in next week's video, and I will be in touch to get your address and send those out at the end of the month. Okay, I think that's all the details and we should jump right into the card making. Here we go. Let's take a look at the things I'm using today. This is the Slimline Envelope Builder by Trinity Stamps. I'm using this frame right here with the yummy little scallops for my shaker card frame, and we'll get back to the envelope part of it later. This is the simple stitched hillside borders, the ocean wave borders, both from Fawn, the stitched cupcake die set, speaking of yummy, and this little branch from the Bug Deal die cut. I will be using, of course, the Acorn house for my cake, an acorn cake. And here's the Let's Go Nuts stamp set once again. I'm gonna put down all the images I'm stamping for today's card and stamp them with my Misty, along with 2 images from the Really High Five stamp set, the party hat and the birthday present. And I did actually end up stamping one more squirrel. You'll see him later. All right, so here are the colors I'm using to Cupcake color my squirrels. E13 is my lightest color. I put that down first. Then I'm coming in with E25, my darkest color, and then E23, my mid-tone. Now, I picked these colors because they go with the sprinkles that I'm using on my card. I wanted this caramely brown color for my squirrels today. And then I'm using R20 for a little touch of pink in there, and really just trying to stick with a pink and brown and white color combination for these projects. I love pink and brown together. It's yummy. It's like dessert. So there's all my colored squirrels. They're adorable, all colored the same way. And then I'll go ahead and die cut everything out and get that ready to go on the card. You can see them all here. I don't know why they're so much cuter when they're die cut, but they are. All right, so now I'm taking Sponge Sugar Distress Oxide ink and going around a panel that is 8.5 by 3.5. It'll be the background for my Slimline card. You can see I concentrated the ink on the edge and then I'm blending it out in the middle, and then this happens. Yeah, I had to walk away. But I came back. I decided it was going to be fine. It's going to be stuck down. It'll be great. So I spritzed that with water, and I'm picking up the spray with a paper towel. And then I'm adding some liquid stardust, splattering that on using this window sheet, and kind of a fluffy brush with stiff bristles helps get that fine mist of splatter that I love. All right, so I'm using those scallops that I die cut with the ocean waves. You can see I'm using the scallop side and not the wave side. I also thought it would be cool to put some pink, that Sponge Sugar Distress Oxide ink on the edge. It didn't really show up in the end, so use a darker color next time maybe on this paper. But it actually didn't matter. You'll see why. This card was a comedy of errors, and I'm only showing you a couple because, yeah, how much laughter can one person take at my expense? Okay, so we're putting 3 ruffles on to this acorn, turning it into a cake. I Pinterest searched for acorn cakes and I got really hungry. There's some cute things out there when you Google cake. I'm just going to warn you. Yeah, so this is going to be like, you know, maybe strawberry cake. And then I'm going to use my die from the back side to die cut off those edges. But when you do that, the lines of your plates on your die cut machine, if they're well used like mine, the lines press into the paper. So I decided I would emboss it to hide that. And then this happened. Listen. yeah, I spilled the entire container of embossing powder. So after I took a few deep breaths, I just swept it with a paper towel onto a folded in half piece of paper, which I was lucky enough to get from my daughter, who asked if I needed help. And I did. And then I just poured it right back in. So I pressed my Acorn with the lines pressed into it from my die machine onto a clear pigment pad, and I am embossing it with this powder that I rescued. It is clear powder with really fine glitter mixed into it. I made it myself. You can buy such things on the World Wide Web, but I just made my own. And then I'm going to pop up my Acorn top. Now I cut off the stem and I was sad about it, but I'm going to cover it up. I was really trying to brainstorm a way I could keep it, but I wanted to put this dollop of, it's either frosting or whipped cream on top. So that's what I did. I'm using my C0 marker to add a little bit of shading on this white, and it really gives it that depth that it needs. All right, so for my ground, I am taking a piece of oatmeal cookie cardstock, splattering it with vintage photo. That same brush, it had a ton of the liquid stardust in it, so it's shimmery and gorgeous. Yeah. All right, so I glued that little hill piece to the back of my scalloped frame, which is from that Trinity Stamps envelope builder die set. And then I'm going to adhere my window panel, which is just a hair smaller. That panel, that frame is 8.5 by 3.5. So I made my window sheet a hair smaller. Now, when you're sticking things down that are partially glued and partially popped up, I recommend that you remove the backing to your foam before you stick the glued part down. Yeah. Okay, so here I'm trying to figure out where to put the little branch. I figured out where I wanted it, and then I put my paper next to the numbers on my glass mat, so I knew to stick this branch down by the number 3, and it would be where I wanted it to go. I'll trim off the little overhang there, and then I'm going to add my jumping squirrel to that branch. He might just jump off into the cake. And then I added a die cut candle and the die cut flame to the top of that. Can you guys see I'm using a new glue? It's the Barely Art glue. This is why I got it. The refill bottle is shaped like a honey bear. I know, it's so cute. I will let you know my thoughts and feelings about this glue as I play with it more. It is different than my favorite Tombow glue, which I affectionately call green glue because it has a green lid, but now this one has green on it too. So yeah, I'll let you know. So I stamped the little confetti piece from, it's in the set, from the Let's Go Nuts set with plastic flamingo ink from Fawn as a little something in the background. I thought the squirrel standing on top of the cake could be throwing the confetti, or he's about to blow out the candle, or lick the frosting, something like that. I stamped 2 sentiments from this set. It says, "It's your birthday, let's go nuts." I trimmed those down, and then here's the next thing I did. I couldn't tell here. I could not tell for a while, but I actually glued my sentiments on crooked. So I'm sad about that. And, you know, one of you is getting this card, so I'm going to be able to let it go, but then one of you has to deal with it. And I'm so sorry for that. So sorry. I am adding some foam tape in and around my card, creating a reservoir for these sprinkles from Trinity Stamps that look good enough to eat, but they're actually made of clay. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know I will put straight up real life sprinkles inside my cards. So to see these little clay elements that I know aren't gonna like get hard and turn white, and you know, mice aren't gonna come eat your card, like, it just makes me happy to have these. So I thought they were delish, and you can see why I based the colors of my card on them. And I'm adding in some Snow White seed beads from my friend's shop. I've mentioned her before. Nia has her own shop on Etsy, Craft Supplies by Cece. It's called. I'll link it for you below. She's fabulous. I love supporting small business. I love supporting my friends' businesses. So if you're like me, you can check her out and see all the fun embellishments she has in her shop. So I adhered the background to the shaker panel and then adhered that to a 8.5 by 3.5 inch Slimline card that is oatmeal cookie. I'm adding a little vintage photo to the bottom of the inside of the card just to make a little bit of like ground for my inside scene, which is this baby squirrel. He's so cute. And he gets the party hat because we're going to say it's his birthday. And then he'll have a present and even a little treat, which is an acorn that the other squirrel's bringing in. And that was the extra squirrel that I stamped out. I just thought it would be really cute to have him bring in an acorn. There they are. So it's a fun little squirrel birthday. One is so tuckered out, he fell asleep. You see there, I tried to move my sentiment. That's when I realized it was crooked. And that glue holds really well. I could not pick it up and twist it and move it. It had been too long. And this is fast drying glue, the Barely Art glue. I will link it for you below if you want to check out the super cute refill bottle that's shaped like a honey bear. It makes me so happy. I would say it's compared to art glitter glue. I haven't actually used that, but in my glue research, this is what I've come to know. All right, so to mask the crookedness of my sentiment, I am stamping some acorns. I decided to color the bottom of them pink, which I loved. It matches my cake, but I didn't do it on the ones that the squirrel's sleeping with or the one on the inside, and I'm sad. I wanted those to be pink too now that I did it. So if the large acorn is a cake, then these must be acorn cake balls. And let me tell you, I saw a lot of those on Pinterest and I want to make them now. Acorn cake balls. Have you ever made cake balls? I love them. They're delish. Okay, let's move on to the envelope. I am using the Envelope Builder die set from Trinity. This makes a slimline envelope. You're going to need this large piece, one of these, and this creates like the back of the envelope. No, the front, the part that you write on. Then you're going to need 2 of the side pieces, 1 of the smaller pieces for the bottom of the envelope, and 1 for the top. And it really depends on how you glue this shut, which side opens. There's also an add-on die set to make this into like a little bit of a box. I'll link both of them for you below because if you're like me, this just makes me giddy. Like, I love this die set. I die cut it from lightweight cardstock. It's my first time making it. I didn't really have any matching printed paper that I wanted to use, but that would have been fabulous too. So I'm putting double stick tape on the flaps that I already folded, and then I'm going to put this envelope together. So I'm going to use liquid glue on top of my score tape because 1, I want to be able to wiggle it and move it if I need to, and 2, I need this handmade envelope to really stick together as it travels through the United States Postal Service to get to one of you. So if you win this card, you got to let us all know how this envelope held up. Okay, so doing the second side, I'm speeding this up a little bit so you can watch all of it, but you know, it's not so slow. Okay, so then on goes the bottom. I'm adding that extra strip of adhesive that I'll use in a minute. And actually the top is going on next. So I use the rounded part for the top of the envelope and this piece for the bottom. So this envelope is going to open so that the card slides in the top, the long way. The short way? I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So all those pieces are glued in. Those flaps are glued on the inside. So when you fold this up, you don't see those tabs. And it looks so perfect. I love it. Let's try it out. You can see it's going in the top. Look at that. It's so cute. So cute. All right, so then I'm going to decorate this a little bit, bringing back that spun sugar. I'm just going to add a little bit to one end, like kind of like it's been dip dyed or something. I don't know. I thought it was really cute. And I'll just layer that on until I get the consistency I want and have it kind of fade out to white. And then, of course, you know, I'm going to splatter this because it's Distress Oxide ink and I can't not do it. So I'll pick the extra up with my paper towel and it looks good. Just the subtle bit of pink with splatter, it looks great. And then I'm adding the little squirrel with the acorn. I'm not going to color it. I like to keep my envelopes simple, but I haven't done a lot of envelopes. So maybe I'll get more creative as I go. But now that I've got the hang of decorating the inside of the card, I thought let's take it up a notch and decorate our envelopes. So there you go, the matching envelope with a tiny acorn glued to it. So that's another thing I'm going to wonder about, if it will make it through the mail, a glued on element. I'm not sure. But there's a close-up look at today's card. I had so much fun at making this shaker card. I was so excited about those shaker elements. And one of you, I don't remember who now, gave me the idea to have the squirrels be decorating a birthday cake. So that's where this idea came from. I love the challenges you guys give me for my cards, so don't be afraid to give me a challenge on occasion. And I will be back again with episode 4 next week, in which I will be doing Christmas. And I have a little something special planned for that. So make sure you tune in next Tuesday. I will see you all then. Happy stamping. Bye.